Hey, you guys, I'm Chrissy Clary, founder of Interact Digital. And if you're a professional today, then you are probably on LinkedIn and trying to post there regularly. But let's be real, it can be a bit of a grind. You've got a lot of other things to do, I bet. But it's not that you don't have ideas, or maybe you even got notes scribbled down and a ton of voice memos with all your creative ideas that you'd like to share with the world, and you just don't have the find the time. That's where the trouble comes in, right? You got the idea, but finding the time to turn your ideas into well-written posts that can be published can be a total energy drain. Well, no worries. Today, I'm going to show you how to build a automated posting system that will draft a social media post for LinkedIn, and it's going to post it for you. And yes, it actually works, and it's no code. It's super flexible, and it's perfect whether you're managing your own brand or if you're juggling a few clients or various profiles. So at Interact Digital, I built a system to help business people, marketers, solve that problem. Something I lovingly call the content beast. It's got the heart of an AI assistant, but it's managed and corralled by a team of strategists, editors, videographers, designers that help your content or the business's content get from point A, origination, ideation, to posted in all of the tons of places it needs to be posted. Even if you're not building and you don't want to build the big content beast or full content production pipeline, that doesn't mean you don't want to just post consistently on LinkedIn for a while. And that's totally valid. And so that's what I'm going to show you today. So what you're going to learn in the next few minutes. We're going to talk about why automation makes sense for LinkedIn, how Google Sheets plus Zapier plus ChatGPT can write and post for you, and how to craft better AI prompts. And we're going to do all of this. We're going to learn all this so that we can keep your content sounding, well, more like you and less like a robot. So here's the big picture. We're going to use just a few tools, including LinkedIn, if we count that one, to build a content process, an automation process to post LinkedIn posts. And you're familiar with Google Sheets, and we're going to use Google Sheets as our content hub. This is where you can drop and post ideas. Your automation will grab them and send them to the AI, and then the automation will work to post it. The automator the automation engine we're using is Zapier. It's a tool I'm really familiar with. I started off building one little automation, and now I think I've built like hundreds to write all kinds of different types of content and post it all over the place. But everybody's got to start somewhere. So here we go. Okay, so the first thing in building our LinkedIn beast is to you set up your Google Sheet. So this is just a regular old Google Sheet in your regular old Google Drive. If it's personal, of course, if you're working for a company, make sure you put it in the right place and safe keepings, and follow all their documentation, maintenance schedules, things like that there. Okay, so we just want to start off small, so we're not going to get too crazy here. We're just going to add a topic. And we're going to add a tone so we can control or give it some input on, like, are we angry? Are we happy? What are we talking about here? Maybe we want to add some hashtags. Now, on this point, you can do hashtags. Like, you can have the ChatGPT write hashtags for you. But if you're trying to optimize or target a certain trending topic, putting a hashtag in there will help focus the AI and the writer. So it's not a bad idea to at least put one hashtag. So we're just going to put a hashtag to help it focus. And then we want to give it some key points. So what are we talking about, really? And that's it. Make sure you name and save your Google Sheet in a safe place, but not really much more we need to do there right now. This is where we're going to put, again, this is going to be our content hub. So this is where we're going to drop in our ideas, and the automation will pick them up and get them written for you. Okay, now our next step is to set up our Zap. And to do that, if you have a Zap account, there's a free account. So if you just want to do this one, LinkedIn automation, you can probably do that one for free. So just set up a free account and get started. You'll just log in and hit the button that says create new. A new Zap, one of my favorite things to do is to set up a new Zap. I guess now that I think about that maybe that's a little weird that one of my favorite things to do is to set up Zaps, but I think about it like that fella that makes like the Rube Goldberg machines for the squirrels in his backyard. Sometimes it's about seeing what you can build and see if it will work. It's always a challenge, almost like playing the Legend of Zelda or something like that. You're constantly solving problems and trying to engineer interesting ways to make an automation happen. So I enjoy the challenge. It's like puzzle. Here, we're gonna start by adding Google and connecting our Google Sheet that we just built in the previous step to our Zap. So how do we do that? Google, just search for the product. Within Zapier, there are tons and tons of different programs and softwares that will integrate. So if you're trying to automate something using it, just go in and search it up and see if the functionality and the product exist. And you'll be amazed at all of the different things that you connect and automate after a while. So we've selected Google Sheets. We have to select a trigger event now. We're going to select new spreadsheet row. So every time I add a new row of content, then that's going to trigger my Zap to run. My automation. When I say Zap, I mean automation. And I'm connecting it to my Chrissy at Interact Digital account. And I have the spreadsheet. I only have one spreadsheet in that account right now. So Chrissy Clary Auto LinkedIn, that's the document you just watched me set up with the 4 rows or the 4 columns. And we're just going to select worksheet. Now, if you had a spreadsheet and it had multiple worksheets within it, you could select another one. My setup is pretty simple here. So now I've connected my Google Sheet to my Zap, and I'm going to test that trigger. For my topic, it's going to be AI replaces need for posting to LinkedIn. Tone, I'm going to say it's professional, with some wit. Wit. Yeah, I had it right the first time. I'm going to put the AI, the hashtag AI. AI for social. And then key points is that I want to make, that I want to share, and then is makes it easy. I can share more, and I don't have to worry about my spelling. All right. So that's my first topic about that's the basis for my first post. So I'm gonna get us back over to our Zap. And we are now going to test it. So back to test. We want to test the trigger. It's found one row and it sees my topic. AI replaces need for posting to LinkedIn. We want it to be professional with some wit. AI for social. So those are the topics that we kind of want to focus on. And makes it easy. I can share more and I don't have to worry about all my spelling. So all my data is passing like expected. So I can continue on with that selected record. Okay, the next step is to add our OpenAI step, our assistant step. And to set that up, we're going to select the action or event that is conversation with assistant. And select your ChatGPT account. Select continue. And I have something drafted and ready. Okay, so we have a little prompt here. Write a professional LinkedIn post about a topic using a tone. Include the following key points. Keep it concise, conversational, and formatted for LinkedIn. End it with a call to action. So actually our prompt forgets about our hashtags. Use the following hashtags. Add more if relevant. Okay, so what we have to do here when we see these curly braces, that means it's looking for dynamic content. So in any of these systems, you're going to want to replace those curly braces with some type of dynamic content. This time it's coming from our Google spreadsheet. So we're going to put in topic. We're going to replace tone. And we're going to replace key points. And then, because we didn't put them in, use the following hashtags. I'll add my hashtags here, add more relevant information, and then continue. And you saw all of those options there. The more information, of course, you give your prompt and the AI assistants, or if you use a customized assistant or your own private assistant like we do for businesses with and Interact Digital, like I said, each content piece has a customized AI assistant at the heart of it. You can get that advanced, and that's what all of those fields are about. But today we're not going to worry about that. So I've got my Zap configured with my prompt, my ChatGPT step anyway, and it's allowing me to continue, and I'm just going to hit test, because of course we want to test to make sure this is working as expected. Fingers crossed. Yay. Okay, it worked. So it did return something. So we're going to scroll down here. Of course, we can see the input that came in. What did we give it? And it actually replaced, you can see that it replaced the curly brackets with the actual content that was in our spreadsheet. So it basically sucked the information in from our spreadsheet. Now we're going to scroll down to the bottom. And there it is. Okay, exciting times in the world of AI. Gone are the days of puzzling over what to post on LinkedIn or spending precious time worrying about the perfect spelling and grammar. With AI, I can share more insights, connect with more people, and focus on what really matters, meaningful conversations. Thanks to AI, my content is easier to create and quicker to share. Who knew that a bit of tech magic could free me from the shackles of writer's block? Don't let those typos hold you back. Embrace the future of social engagement. Are you ready to let AI enhance your professional networking? Let's discuss how it can work for you. AI for social, networking, professional growth, innovation. Share your thoughts below. That's the call to action that we asked it for. So I think it's a decent post. Of course, you may want to tweak that. Remember, we did set the tone. We're giving it the tone. If we wanted this to come out as angry or happy or joyful, we can include that in the tone. And this is a good step to either adjust your prompt by going back in here and changing what you're asking for, what you need, what you want it to sound like, how many words, things like that. All right, our final step is connecting LinkedIn to our Zap so that the content that we just had AI draft for us can get posted to LinkedIn. So just like we did for the previous first two steps, we are just going to search up our tool, LinkedIn, and we want to select Create, Share, Update. That's the one that'll give you the post on your page. My LinkedIn account is already connected here, but if yours isn't connected, you would hit the accept or the connect button and log into your LinkedIn account, and it should work just fine. And on the configuration page, now there are, again, as you've seen in previous steps, there's more fields than we're going to use. We're keeping it pretty simple. Today we're just going to take the post that we had that AI created for us, and we're going to add it to the comment box. So we want to scroll down here because we want to find the full response. Sometimes the data can get broken up into pieces and parts, and so we want everything, the writing, the hashtag, the call to action. So just make sure that you get the full response. And in this situation, they're calling it the full response. That makes it easy for us. We want to set the visibility. That's all we're required to do to make this work. Set the visibility, and we're going to continue on. Of course, like I said, you saw all those fields. There's other things that you can add and other things you can do, but we're just focusing on being able to drop content into a spreadsheet, drop your ideas, and get it posted to LinkedIn. Okay, so it says that the post, and it gives me the link to the post here, it says it is posted. So let's check it out. And I think you can see my screen. This is my account here. And here's the post. Exciting times in the world of AI. And isn't it exciting, folks? So I was able to enter some information into that spreadsheet, send it to ChatGPT, and then it wrote and published a post for me. Of course, you may want to upgrade this. There's lots of places you can take this in the future, but just take your time and build little bits by little bits. We're actually going to test the whole system together now. And that's all I have for today. So I really enjoyed this. I hope you did too. If you have any questions or suggestions or ideas for me, please drop me a line, subscribe, DM, do all of the things. And until next time, bye.